G.I. Joe is a classic toy, so I do think it belongs on the list. And I think people are going to be upset that it's not up higher.
I love the G.I. Joe toys because I love the cartoon. And because they had so many different characters, you're like, oh, it's a ragtag bunch of people that love to fight for what's right.
The thing about G.I. Joe is it birthed the action figure.
G.I. Joe was created at a time when toys were heavily gender segregated. And with the success of Barbie, there was a desire to make a doll toy that could be sold to the other 50% of children, and that were boys.
So how did G.I. Joe become so entrenched in American culture?
A guy named Stanley Weston came up with the idea and sold it to Hasbro in 1963 for only $100,000.
One innovation that really stood out, this toy could move.
His articulated joints were such another breakthrough. He not only could bend, but he held his poses.
After its launch in 1964, G.I. Joe was a tremendous success.
G.I. Joe, fighting man from head to toe.
Joe! G.I. Joe came with outfits, vehicles, and buildings, and friends. It's a lot like the Barbie model, and that's exactly what Hasbro was hoping for.
G.I. Joe hit a little bit of a snag in the 70s. Parents were feeling a little bit anti-war at the time with the Vietnam War going on.
In 1982, G.I. Joe got a makeover. Hasbro was trying to duplicate the success of the Star Wars figurines, action figures, which were smaller than the original 12-inch G.I. Joes.
They brought it down to 3 3/4 inches, and that made it possible for kids to collect a lot of them and play with them in a very different way than one single doll.
And when G.I. Joe made his reintroduction, G.I. Joe got reformulated as an adventure team rather than a military man.
And just like that, Joe got his own TV series.
G.I. Joe is still popular today. It's got one of the biggest fan bases out there. Adult male collectors really love G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe really has a special place. And I actually believe that G.I. Joe will be reimagined and reborn at some point in the future in a way that makes sense for the children of today.
So what can top G.I. Joe? I can tell you this, it's more